he's going to be an awesome vice president. I've actually known him for over a decade. He and I were law school classmates.
No way.
And we both grew up in Southwest Ohio. Like maybe 10, 15 minutes from where he grew up was where our parents' first house was. And I think he is going to be not only a good policy voice, but his story is an American dream story. And I think that he will give inspiration to a lot of people, but he also wants policies that allow a lot of people to live the same dream that he has. And I love him. He's in politics for the right reasons, and he's honest. And I just think he's a great choice. He's going to be outstanding.
Do you think he's going to attract young voters?
I hope so. I think he should. I think he's going to attract more than that. I think he's going to attract a lot of people who are hungry for economic mobility in the country. And I think he's going to attract even a lot of people who aren't traditional Republicans. And so I just think he's a great choice.
JD Vance is the guy, the VP pick. But could our boy, Vivek Ramaswamy, be the guy to become the next senator in Ohio? Let's go. Hello, fellow patriots. Hello, friends, and welcome to The Conservative Poet. My name is Amania. Here on the channel, I do political commentary, reactions. I throw some humor, some parody in there to drive home what I call giving you the hammer. And so if that's something that's interesting to you, then you've come to the right place. Stay a while, interact with the video, and I'm going to see you in there right now. Guys, VP pick is JD Vance. Now, I have to say that I have not covered JD Vance a lot, so I don't know a lot, all of the ins and outs. I know he's a tough guy. I know the work that he's been doing in the Senate. He's been doing some great things. I know that he will make a great vice president. I already can see that. He's got strong leadership skills. I mean, the whole world is buzzing about him right now. So he's the guy that President Trump picked. And so President Trump has his reasons. As you guys know, I'm always Team Vivek. Like, I wanted it to be Vivek. But since Vivek is not the guy for the VP pick, but I'm sure he might be able to do something in President Trump's cabinet. But then there were videos floating around that, hey, now that JD Vance is going to be the VP, that seat is going to be open. And so why not let Vivek Ramaswamy take that over so he can go and handle, some of these weak senators, So I'm like, yeah, that would make a great role for him because, I mean, he's so talented. I mean, being with President Trump in the cabinet, he's going to do great things. And if he goes for the Senate seat, more great things. So we're talking a little bit today about the future of our boy, Vivek Ramaswamy. Seen that, heard that, good. The events over the weekend really had me stressed out. Like, we literally just watched President Trump almost murdered. And so one of the things that helped me out was burning my candles. And so it helps out in any kind of stressful situation. Very nice scented candle, cinnamon, apples, all kinds of different smells to really help you ease into the daily life of what we see in this society. Because, friends, it is quite stressful. So I have them on the website for sale, OrlandoPatriots.com. Grab some for you, for friends, 30% off. It really does help out the channel as well, so I can continue to do the work that I do here. So thank you very much, and God bless you. Seen that, heard that, good. I get a little bit passionate, friends, as you all know. So here we're going to get into the real conversation about Vivek in reference to just maybe he might be the one to take the seat of JD Vance in the Senate. Let's hear him out.
How does JD Vance help the ticket?
So I don't really view it necessarily that way. A lot of an analysis, or what you say, pundits would
check the box on
talking
what
heads, yeah.
ethnicity or whatever. I think you look at it more in a bigger way that JD brings a lot of intangibles to the table. He's an American dream story. That speaks to me, but it speaks to a lot of other people like me in the country. I'm the kid of legal immigrants who came here. My parents did with no money. I've lived the American dream. JD was born in humble circumstances. He's lived the American dream as well. His wife, Usha, somebody who's a friend of our family as well. She was also a law school classmate. I think she could be a big attribute in this campaign in reaching non-traditional voters. And even further for JD himself, he is somebody who has a unique vantage point for bringing in new voters. Here's what it is. He wasn't somebody who was a Donald Trump evangelist back in 2016. So I think that's actually
quite the opposite.
Yeah, well, I acknowledge that. But what I would say is he can actually reach a lot of other people who also weren't in the Donald Trump camp in 2016. And in a very personal and authentic way, he can say, look, here's why I moved. And here's why I want you to come with us as well. So I think that's unique.
You're saying that you think his evolution on the former president could actually be relatable to some independents?
Yes, I think it could actually be an attribute to bringing independents and even some Democrats in. A lot of working class Democrats, a lot of union members across the country. Trump is already strong with a lot of those audiences, but JD, I think, plays even further to those strengths. And I think there's a good chance this Trump-Vance ticket could be the most formidable presidential ticket, certainly in my lifetime. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing them succeed at a big scale.
So, JD Vance, the American dream. Vivek Ramaswamy, the American dream come to life. Mark Robinson, the American dream. You know, all of these people who really had nothing and rose up to be where they are. JD Vance, Senator, Vivek Ramaswamy, you know, medical breakthroughs, Mark Robinson, governor. Like all of these people, these are the stories of America that pushes us and say, you know what, America is a great country. And that's why we have this border situation where everybody wants to pour in here because of the opportunities that's here. And so some might argue, well, JD Vance is a white boy. And so he was born with white privilege, but not necessarily. You know, they always forget that it's really not about skin color. At least that's what I believe. It's really not about skin color. They make it about skin color because there are poor whites, there are poor blacks, there are rich whites, there are rich blacks, there are rich Indians, and there are rich whoever's, and poor as well. And so it's about the person and what their capabilities and ability is for what it is that they want for their life. So you work hard and you get it done. And so the American dream is being fulfilled right here for people who started with nothing. And so I always go back to that, like, if you can do it, I can do it. Again, it's about the hard work of what you're willing to put in. So today we have the ticket Vance, Trump, Vance, Trump, Vance. It could have been a Trump Ramaswamy. It could have been a Trump Rubio. It could have been a Trump whoever, right? But today it's a Trump Vance ticket. And again, the American dream displayed right here in front of us. And this is going to lead us into Vivek Ramaswamy and what's his role going to be in the next couple of years during this administration.
If they do succeed in November, it would obviously open up a Senate seat in Ohio. Would you consider it?
I haven't gotten that question today at all, actually. No, the reality is it's hot off the press. To be frank, I would strongly consider it if I were asked to serve, but I would also want to have a serious conversation with President Trump about the other ways I could have an impact on the country. My top passion is taking on the regulatory state. I think that's a nonpartisan issue that's actually impeding our economy, in some ways even threatens the American model of self-governance. I think that administrative state is far too big. There are ways to address that from the executive branch. There are also things that need to be done from Congress and the Senate, too. So I look forward to those conversations after President Trump is successfully reelected with JD Vance.
I'll ask because I've got to check the box. Has anybody reached out to you from Governor DeWine's office to broach this issue yet?
I have not discussed this with Governor DeWine.
Anybody from his office?
I haven't discussed it with President DeWine. I haven't discussed it with Governor DeWine. But, you know, I look forward to evaluating what the future holds in store. I would strongly consider it if asked, but I think there are a lot of other ways to serve this country. And, you know, this isn't about what comes after victory. This is about what our path is to victory in November.
To that point, and then I'll move on, but I want to ask you, talk about the ways that you think you can serve former President Trump. Chief of Staff in the White House, is that something that has been brought up to you as a possible role?
We've talked about a lot of different possibilities from the cabinet. President Trump and I have had, I mean, we talk regularly. I spoke to him Actually, most recently, it was after midnight on the night that he suffered that injury, that tragedy, and the assassination attempt on Saturday night. One of the things I admire about him is he's always strong, he's always energetic, and I think we get along and we want to save the country together, but that's going to come in a lot of different forms. So we've talked about different ideas potentially in a cabinet to other ways of driving change, and today I think adds one more development that'll give us a lot to consider.
Seen that, heard that, good. So, yes, once JD Vance and President Trump advance to the next level of all of this, that seat is going to be open. And why not a Vivek Ramaswamy? He has proved his abilities to lead. He has proved his ability, his loyalty to the party, to MAGA. So why not put another strong, able conservative who is able to execute into that seat? And the governor is going to have the power to do so. And so, yeah, I would say if President Trump wants to use Vivek in this capacity and say, hey, you know what? Let's hold on to that seat. Let's hold on to that and let's put Vivek in that seat. Then I think he would do amazing. He would flourish at anything. There is nothing that you can put this man into that he will not flourish, because he's a businessman, a business mind. He will run it like a business. And he will kick up the waters, when these, bills are coming through the cracks in the middle of the night, like come around, where they're saying it's 1,000 pages and everybody's they have 2 days, not even 2 days, they have 24 hours to go through it and sign off. No, I feel like he would be somebody who would stand up and say, no, this is wrong. And he would shed light on things like that. So he would make a great person in the Senate. But again, he would make a great person as chief of staff somewhere. He would make, because he talks a lot about taking down the 3-letter organization, CIA, FBI, all of those things. He would be, I don't know what that position would be called, but he would be great at, focusing on those as well in the administration. So Vivek Ramaswamy's future is bright, as we can see, and he is young. And I would not be surprised if he were to be looking at a ticket in 2028, if he would be looking to run. And that's going to be a conversation for another day, because we've got some strong, capable young men who can take on that challenge in 2028 to literally take the baton. And that includes JD Vance becoming president afterwards. So this is a whole new game. Like this, his name wasn't even in the thing. We were talking, 2028 candidates. We were looking at DeSantis, maybe Vivek, obviously, but now JD Vance, not just VP, he could take the baton and become president after Donald Trump. Like, so it's exciting. I'm really excited to have this conversation today about our boy Vivek Ramaswamy and the great things that's looking forward to for his future in our party, in our country, in the MAGA movement overall. So Vivek Ramaswamy. Friend, if you enjoyed that segment of the episode, click right here to enjoy the full episode.